Oh well, handy bit of a break there. Are we back in the room? Let's see. We are back in the room. A bit of a reset job. Let's just share that link. Let's just... Right. Northern Counties Part 2. This is the difficult bit. I'm broadcasting live on YouTube now. Incredible. So, oh, okay. So we're back. Everything seems to be working. If there's some technical issues, please let us know in the comments box. But we had a good run. I think we've had like 3 hours non-stop high quality, subscription free golf action from the Isle of Man, from the Comis Hotel and Golf Resort. So, need to catch up now. Who have we got? Looks like a Durham lad. Quarter to 12. So this will be Chris Brown and Jack Wally. Oh, that's good. Thank you, James, our man in Kuwait, who's monitoring the broadcast, who says that the sound quality is tip-top. So I don't know what happened there before. The mic went a little bit off when the hotel manager was sharing his, what can I say? I think his natural heritage in golf. Played with Colin Montgomery back in the day. A fine striker of the ball, no doubt. I do like the idea that we've got John Kennedy playing with us today. I'd love to know what his middle name is. The name's Kennedy. Right, who have we got coming up? I'm just trying to catch up. So it's Sam Crawford, Chris Brown of Durham, Jack Wally of Yorkshire. Let's get them in the frame. And then it's not that many really till they're all back and we can have a bit of a break maybe. Yeah, it won't be long before we've got Herminder from Cheshire. Jamie Arneil. He'll be marching through. Looks like a character out of Game of Thrones, doesn't he? What do you call him? There's one for you. It wouldn't be like sublime, like James the Cutter of Grass. It wouldn't be something like that. It'd be more like Gripperus or something. Yeah, Gripperus. That's him. Amazing fella. He's done boxing. He's big into netball for blokes. But you can't take the rip out of Jamie because he's won all the town cups. Oh, here we go. That looks like David Kinraid, the lesser spotted team captain. There we go. Have you got your rule book out today? Has he? Great guy. There we go. That's Gareth, our other team captain. Brilliant. So yeah, we've got a bit of a gap. Just let the camera roll. Just need to just go for a little break for a second. we're back on. Oh, get him to come over here. We want the Manx. He's avoided it long enough. Get him on. Right, we're back on who we've had a bit of a gap. Oh, we got Herminder. Herminder, who was playing pretty well earlier on. Let's have a look on the app and see if he's featuring. If he's featuring, scroll. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's 1 under after 6. So if you follow your Golf Genius app, and he was playing with Luke Kelly. So, and Luke Kelly 2 under. So these players were going well earlier on. Let's see if they can continue. So we're at the 11th green at the Comis Hotel and Golf Resort at Mount Murray. It's the Northern Counties. And we're just coming up to midday. We're coming up to halfway through. And Club short again. So we spoke to Herminder yesterday. I loved his attitude. Very relaxed. Don't be, too wrapped up in golf. Make time for other things. Enjoy it. Lovely. Cheshire. Look at that. Nice swing. Good tempo. And there's wind whistling over my right shoulder. It's getting up. Okay. Moving a little bit. Oh, that's a lovely shot, isn't it? Lovely shot. Top side. Tricky putt, as we know. Oh, amazing, really. The phone doesn't stop. So we've only had I think the 1-2 today, and that was Hayes, Dan Hayes from Cheshire. And Haminder is a Cheshire lad. So it could be a pair of deuces from the Cheshire's finest. Let's see. Yeah, this wind has definitely got up. Methodical. Oh, kind of just had a close shave. Still. A lot of these players will be thinking about this afternoon. Where could they have made a few shots up? Certainly on the par fives. Playing easy, apart from the first that seemed to have snaffled a few victims. Luke Kelly. Also been playing well, so he's rescuing a par 3, hopefully. Didn't do it though. It's a huge green. It's a huge green. Looks flat. You think it's like knocking it up onto a tennis court, but I think the clubbing will have changed by one club. It's a 1 club wind. Snuck in. So this should be Will Coxon and Lucas Martin of Yorkshire. Will Coxon of Cumbria. Let's see how they're going to do. I'm even feeling a little bit of moisture in the air. Oh, hello. That's a nice little shot. Just got held up a touch, but probably the best place you want to be on the green is just coming in from that side. A shade of right to left. But that wind has just picked up. I don't think we're going to see many that are going to be past the pin today. And that was a big hoik round to that side of the green. So we've not seen one as off target as that as yet. So there we have it. We might even get a lunch order in if I'm lucky. Don't know what to have. The Brullo Bar and Grill. Do kind of pesto sauce ciabatta. Not a big fan of. Chicken. On the grill. Can't beat it. Have something nice to drink here on the terrace. Taking a look out over my shoulder. What's the weather doing? There's a bit of greyness in the air, but so far so good. Well, we had a hello from Peter Scott. Peter Scott, professional from Southport. Spent a bit of time at Mount Murray as a coach early this year. I know now he's working hard up around St Andrews and the great courses in Scotland, looking after, hosting some visitors from all around the world. Scotty, you might know, famous for playing with Jack Nicklaus in the British Open. Paired up with him. What a great experience. Put in a good card as well that day. But not just that. Over 100 wins on the tour. All over the place. So if you're in Southport, you need a lesson. Scotty is your man. Those great courses in that area. How would you put them into a list? Is it West Lancs, S&A, Formby, Birkdale, Lytham? Some absolute beauties there. Aye, aye. Is that in the bunker? We haven't had one of them today. Yeah, so Scotty, thanks for saying hello. Made a good impact here on the swings of many of his students, shall we say. Certainly taught me a few things about bunker play anyway. Overcame that demon. But yeah, Scotty, Peter Scott, if you're listening, yeah, we'll just say hello. We do miss you. Absolutely great character, funny. Has to be though, because he has to have a good sense of humour, because he is a Manchester United fan, and I think being Manchester's second team now, it must be difficult after years of all that bandwagoning. Here we go, we're going to see another two. Oh, just took a little break. How far outside do you have to kind of gauge for that putt? So coming up, we're going to have Jamie Arneil on the tee. The next big event. Oh, nearly a sand save, but they're trying to work it out, these lads, aren't they? AJ, our esteemed hotel manager, he said it was on a ridge, and AJ would know. He spends hours and hours gazing out of that window looking at that green, reminiscing about times at Turnberry when he's kicking Colin Montgomery's ass. There we go. Right. So the next game, we've got a Manxie coming. Oh, it's a big Durham lad, isn't it? Who I think is actually a bigger frame than Jamie. Here he comes. Yeah, definitely a bit of breeze. You see that? They kind of move to the edge of the tee because they know they're hitting it around the corner. So Jamie, here he is. What an absolute athlete in the world of men's netball. Can you believe it? He's carries the bag. I remember him in the final when we played here against Kevin Moore, and he'd been carrying the bag all week, you know. Come on, Jamie. Oh, blimey. What's happened there? He's brought it in on from the right hand side, just on the fringe. Again, it's one of them, isn't it? How much is it going to turn? You don't want to be short. You don't want to be long. You just get asked the question. But it's nice to see that Ramsey's given him the day off. Very good at Ramsey, aren't they? All the clubs on the Isle of Man put in such massive efforts to be so welcoming, so hospitable. Everyone's working together, pulling in the right direction for the greater good, the common good. We've got the fabulous Golf Union working tirelessly, absolutely tirelessly to bring golfing to the fore for everyone. Every golfer on the Isle of Man has an opportunity, an equal share. You could call us all like miniature stakeholders in the development of the golfing good. Every member of every golf club pays £16.50 towards England Golf and Isle of Man Golf. And, you know, you just kind of get overwhelmed by the benefits that we all enjoy week in, week out, and we're seeing all these fantastic new golfers coming into the fore. People learning how to play the game. Junior golf, absolutely energized by all that great work behind the scenes. It's truly overwhelming, really, the level of effort that is put together. You know, those patrons of the game who've been integral into making golf great and friendly and, would you call it, hospitable and welcoming, and they're actually at the core of everything that happens. These amazing golf events, we've got the Scratch League, the championships, events at clubs, where it's just success beyond success, and the happiness factor, if there was a dial for it, it wouldn't be set at 10. It'd be like at 13 or something. It really is quite striking. Isle of Man has got a very busy economy, some big firms, big companies, a lot of golf connections. And the sponsorship just keeps rolling in and rolling in. Oh, I think it's time for a gin and tonic. Come on, Jamie. Come on, Jamie. Come on. Come down. Come down. Come down. Oh, just had a look in and he's okay. He's all right. We like Jamie. Just give that putter a bit of a spank. Oh, funny. What a great guy. The Arneals. Bringing cholesterol to Ramsey. Love it. Ramsey Golf Club. Always in good nick. And you got someone like Jamie. Just knock it in. Yes, good lad. Yeah, Jamie at the helm with Ollie. I think, is it radar? I've lost track of that. Well, what a pairing this is. They're both about 7'6". There we go. Pair of threes, as you like it. I'm getting a bit peckish now. I'm trying to work out how can I get an order in from the grill. I might just have to leg it in. We'll just see these guys tee off. And we'll be right. Oh, it's the man. We've got to have this guy in. We do. He's used to having a mic in his hand. You probably know what you're doing. Just take that. Let me plug you in. It's one of our favourite members at the Mount. It's Jono.
Afternoon, Jed.
You're looking very casual, very smart.
Thank you. I've just been to the radio station to do some of my moonlighting, let's say.
Well, just so the viewers know, where can we tune in and listen to you?
So, 3FM on the Isle of Man, one of the 3 radio stations. Obviously, the best of the 3. 104, 106 if you're on island, and then 3.FM if you're off island on the internet. And there's a lovely app as well, so you can take us wherever you go. I just thought I'd come up and say hello and see how magnificent the course is looking, and the play as well. There's some great scores in so far. Some of the pins, we did get a little look maybe a couple of weeks ago in one of our club comps, and yeah, a few of them were a little bit tricky. Looks like this one on 11 certainly moved from where it was on the front right corner to something a bit more sociable.
Well, you're a sociable guy, Jono, and it's great to have your velvet tones, your vocal tones in my ears.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I absolutely.
That was a good shot in there as well.
So we're treated to great golf all year round at the Mount, and the course. I just don't get it. How come the greens are just so good all year round?
We've got a fantastic greenkeeping team, and for the size of the course, the acreage, I'm not 100% sure of the actual number. I'm sure someone more in the know will be able to tell me, but the team that we've got is extremely small for the size that we've got. However, they're doing all the right things, and this year is by far the best year that we've had for especially the greens. Like Gary Caller and his team, they've got a great concoction of chemicals that they've put down on the greens to maintain moisture. And I tell you what, compared to a few years ago when they went a little bit brown, they got pacey, they were hard. Like all year this year, they've been mega, so smooth and playable. And you can now, for a summer, you can throw a ball in and it won't bounce off 20 yards away.
I'm just going to let you into a little secret, okay? And
I like secrets.
This is only if you're out on the course, okay? And this is what I suggest every member should do, okay? And that is, if you're playing, maybe there's no one about, take off your shoes, take off your socks, and just have a bit of a putt in bare feet.
Okay.
And I'm not joking, you are becoming at one with Mother Nature. It resonates. I think maybe over by the 5th there, because we've got that Viking site. I don't know whether there's something pagan or like altruistic in there, but I can actually feel energy coming through the bottom of my the soles of my feet.
Okay, well
that's the soles of my bottom.
Will that save me a few shots on my old index, or?
I think it's just for a personal thing.
Okay.
I think you just become at one with the Mount Murray vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a go.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, of course, Sunrise is playing naked. I think
I draw the line there.
I think you could get away with it maybe up on the 17th, but
you're out of the way.
But just be careful. I think one of those dodgy car parks is just down the other side of the park.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Dodgy or doggy? I don't know. I don't know what goes in. You hear all these stories, don't you? So, Jono, tell me about your game. How's it gone for you this year?
we had a bit of a rough start to the year. There's a few things that have taken place outside of work and family which have had a bit of an effect on the old golf psyche, which are brought to the course. However, things have been getting better. That's a good putt there.
What a good place to just come and unwind a bit.
100%. I wouldn't say we're one of the busiest courses on the island. However, you don't have an issue getting on, arriving in your car, just sticking your name down last minute. Millionaires golf up here, and like I say, the quality of the course, like this year, we've been blessed by amazing greens and the hard work that Gary and his team have put in, and like hats off to all of the guys down there. Golf's been getting better for me this year. 6.1 on the old index now, which is a far cry than, well, that's a good putt. A far cry than from some of these guys here, which is, it's great to see. Like, Lois still in 67 this morning, is it?
I've not quite dialed into it. Let me get the. Should we get our apps? Oh,
yeah,
get your app.
I've got the old Golf Genius.
Quick, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It is. Let's have a look. We love a bit of dead air. There we go. Yeah, -4 from Dan Hayes from Cheshire.
Oh, he got a 2.
He did.
On here. I enjoyed that. Harrison Sewell. So we had the Northumbria president, Ian Harrison, of all people. Can you believe that?
Yep.
And Ian Harrison that knows and talks golf with aplomb. Remarkable.
What I will say, when I was looking through the scores earlier, like Dan Hayes, like -4, great, but he had a bit of a moment, say on 7 and 9 with a bogey on 7, a double on 9, but then, as I like to sort of say to myself, don't get mad, get even. And look what he's done on the back 9. There's 5 birdies there. Like, walked off with a double on 9 and then birdied 10, 11, par 12, what we call Amen Corner here.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12. It's,
look at that.
I know. It's
16
mega.
And I wonder what they did on 16, whether they're just giving it a punt over the trees.
In the summer it can get quite, well, obviously the course can get quite dry, but going for it over the corner, it depends how I'm feeling personally. If I go for it, I tend to hit a bit more of a bit of a slice around there, really controlled sort of slice, just to try and get it to the front. But otherwise, I'm dropping an iron to the corner. If it gets really dry, your landing area is extremely small. You got to try and land it on the flat, maybe a couple of bounces before it rolls down to the flag. But otherwise, sometimes you're off the left-hand side in those bunkers and down towards the bank. I personally don't feel it's a hole that I want to go for on a regular basis. But there's obviously some members of the club who.
How would Marcus play it? What's his approach to it? You play with Marcus.
You know what?
One of the top golfers.
He is. Marcus shot level gross around here at the weekend, which is stellar. I wasn't marking his card, but he's very good at just keeping it in play, and his short game is mustard. That 16th, you know what? It depends what score he's got. If he's got a good one going, it's just going to be a little 6 iron to the corner, 5 iron, or maybe if he's trying to chase a birdie, if the wind is right, he'll have a pop. But yeah, depends what score's going on, really.
He's quite something. I love his opinions of the pin placements and the course. It does give me much pleasure.
Yeah,
much pleasure.
He is vocal, and you know what? I'm vocal as well. But like some of the pins, it's very easy to trick the course up if you need to. Like if some of the pins are the same from the other week that they put out for the guys as a bit of a tester. We can't see the 7th green from here, can we? No, that was front left and off the back tee. Impossible maybe isn't the right word, but very difficult to get at.
Absolutely.
Front left.
He's trying to land it on the dining room table.
Absolutely. Then you've got 4 up there. I think that's probably in the same place. There's a little ridge that runs off the maybe the front right quarter of that, and sometimes the pin is right on top of that, and it can be very difficult if you've hit the ball long trying to dolly it down to the flag. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure where all the pins are today. I haven't got much time to go and have a look today. I've got to go and do day job after
Really?
this.
Oh, is it? Are you ding ding?
Yeah,
all that?
driving the 12 metre long silver limousines around the island, yes.
Luxury
Yeah.
chauffeur service
That's
with
me.
you on board. Tell me, that must be. What, are you allowed to listen to a bit of radio? Could you tune in
Yeah,
to
yeah.
3FM?
I do,
that's
yeah,
good.
I do, yeah.
That's good. So you can have 3am like ringing in your ears. So tell me, when you're on 3FM, what are your like go-to tracks? If you're coming in, I don't know, and you're thinking, there must be like 3 or 4 songs that you like to hear or you like to play.
You've put me on the spot here now. I would like to say that we don't pick them.
I know, but there
The
must
computer
be ones
does it.
the ones that come on where you think, oh, I really like that.
Yeah, you know what? Oasis, you can't go wrong with any Oasis tracks.
Yeah.
My dad's a big Oasis fan, so that's been in my blood for many years. You know what? Like Fleetwood Mac, that sort of thing. Like when I'm driving around, I listen to an A-list pop track on iTunes, so I get to hear a lot of the new stuff, and I honestly don't mind that. I'm just not like a you know what, heavy drum and bass type kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm sort of showing my age now, but I think we've got a very good mixture of music on the radio, and yeah,
Happy days.
I like it.
There you have it. 3FM. You can tune in online and you can listen to Jono. So what time of the week are you on?
I'm on 6 days a week, Monday to Thursday, 7 till 10 p.m. Saturday from midday, Sunday from 3.
That's awesome. So when you go on holiday, who fills in? Because I could actually, you know.
I'm not recording a show from Thailand, I'm afraid.
I could plug the gap for you if you want, you know.
I think you do a good job.
Yeah. The problem is I could offend someone. Just one slip, you know.
There's a line that we broadcast to. You don't want to cross that.
Well, I try so hard, but we could just go back to Mount Murray. The season's been going well. I don't want to talk or dwell too much on it, but winter golf. Do you enjoy winter golf?
I don't want to say I've become a bit of a fair weather player. Like you look at the weather 24 hours out and go, ooh, that's looking a bit wet. Ooh, that's looking a bit windy. But in the winter we have a great winter league. Have done over the years. 4-ball, better ball. It's great to team up with Marcus, my regular playing partner, and it's a great way to. I wouldn't say. Yeah, a great way to meet new players who have joined the club, who, if they join the competition that year, it's also great to play with other members of other 4-balls as well. Who you don't usually, because usually every Saturday, it's the same groups every week, and there's nothing wrong with that. You get to catch up with your mates once a week, this, that, and the other. But it's good to see other faces as well. Like the Isle of Man in the winter. Oh yeah. It can be a bit of a fruity place.
But we've had a lot of new members join as well.
We have. It's been really good.
And we've got some guys that came through the company called PGI. So
yes,
it's been fantastic. There's a core of them that all joined at once. They've got the handicaps, and now they're having a punt at the prizes. And we've got a few juniors coming through as well, which they seem to be cleaning up at times. But that's the nature of the beast, and eventually the handicaps level themselves out.
You know what? Like golf over the years, it has seen a bit of a change. Like when I started playing golf, so I've been playing since I was 11. So we're talking 26 years ago now. I don't look 37. I look mid-20s.
I wouldn't even say that.
Oh, that's very kind.
You could get away on the bus with like a student rate, couldn't you?
Probably, yeah. I don't get ID'd very often. Anyway, what I'm getting at is when I started, there wasn't too much internet around. PlayStations, Xboxes, exactly. iPads.
Yeah.
So the junior sections of a lot of clubs over here were pretty big, and the Island junior champs. I remember playing at Douglas one year, and they were dozens and dozens and dozens of juniors. Now, it's just a smaller handful.
Well, the PlayStation 4, is it? Came in 2015.
Something like that, yeah.
And that killed it. That
Yeah.
has taken out a generation. And then you throw in Fortnite, which has sucked the life out of kids.
Yeah.
But that's going away now. And we're actually having a lot of kids playing now because, surprisingly, the body is saying, I need some fresh air.
Absolutely.
I need some sunlight,
Yep.
some exercise. And maybe the parents have realised, oh, golf is good, let's get them out. So I think right across the Isle of Man spectrum, every club, every golfer in every club should be looking at how can we introduce someone new to golf.
Yep.
Not just juniors, but is it a friend, is it a neighbour, is it a work colleague? Let's bring them in and let's get them to play because it's a great sport, isn't it?
Yeah, like COVID was maybe a bit of I suppose a good time for golf because with mental health and stuff and people being cooped up inside, people were thinking, oh, what can I do to relieve this pressure? And people started turning to golf, and a few people have come along since then, which is great. Like handicaps wise, they'll start coming down with practice and lessons and equipment, that sort of thing. Like we're just looking here on 11, we've got, I think this is Rob Noon now, I think, in it.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't think it is.
Well, not on the tee.
Oh.
To his right. This is Rob Noon's group. Ball is on its way, and yeah, nice shot there at the pin.
Is that Rob Noon, is it?
I think so. Looks like his golf bag.
Oh, right, okay. Because some of our lads are in grey, and some of them aren't.
Let me see if I can zoom in on my old camera and just see. I'll be able to tell from his swing.
I think you're right.
I think that's his dad on the bag there.
Yeah, Cumbria, were they playing in red? So, Robbie Noon, the Ireland champion for the last 2 years. He's our man on tour. He's our Mount Murray club champion over the years. And he's been going okay. I think he was about 1 under, wasn't he, after 6? So, come on, Rob.
Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Leaked it right.
Is it going to come in? Come in. It's top side. Oh, he's just on that naughty little fringe where... Now, what club would you hit with that?
From that lie there?
Yeah.
My short game's been a little bit funky over the last couple of years. I'm not going to say the Y word. Not fully yippy, but yeah, I've had some struggles. But after a lesson a few months ago, I would probably... I'm like a 54. I like a 54 from that, personally. I'm not much of a bump and run player, you know.
It's a Bronte Chipmaster. All day.
10 quid special.
It's a Bronte Chip. And I think you can get one that's like left-handed and right-handed now for those little shots up against the hedge.
Yeah.
I'd be putting that.
Potential. I think it depends on
all day long.
If there's a big tuft in front of it, then I'd be chipping it. But if it's good, yeah, maybe a putter. It obviously all depends on the lie, really.
So, if you want to put a comment in the box, is Rob going to put it, chip it, master it, lob it, chip and run it? How would he play?
Somehow, I don't think when he went to Torex that he would have been fitted with a Bronte Chipmaster. I don't think they've got that in store somehow.
They're wrong.
Can you imagine that with like I don't know, a black, what you call it, Diamana?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I think there's a market there. I do. Right, here he is. So he's got now his dad. Did his dad have some hip surgery? So he's good to see because he's not playing as in Paul. He's been out of it, and of course I tell you what, I always got to give Vicky, the mum, a special thanks because I think in the background with Isle of Man Golf, I think she's a big part. I think she's a big part of holding things together there. Yeah,
she's done a hell of a lot over the years, especially helping the juniors and some of the admin side of things with the competitions, getting scores, this, that and the other. Yeah, they've, like as a family, they've done a lot for golf over here.
I think with Emma, and I think the presence that they got, and Rob and his profile. I think Vicky, though, she brings a little bit of calmness.
Yeah.
Into an environment that isn't always calm.
Yes.
If we leave it at that.
Yeah. No. I would agree.
Right.
So Rob's chipping it.
Here we go. Come on, you little sod. There we go. Come
Great
on.
effort, that.
Come on. Oh, good try, Rob.
Never up, never in.
Good. I couldn't do that, now. That would have been over the back.
Sometimes they are for me still, but we're getting there. Like these greens are running absolutely mega. Absolutely mega.
I was having a chat to some of these guys that were doing the practice rounds. And I said, look, honestly, how fast are the greens? And they were saying, these are incredible. They play the top courses all round and about right across the UK, not just the Northwest. And they're saying these are faster than fast things.
Yep. Like I'm aware, a lot of these guys have played in open qualifying, if not competed in the Open, as well. So to come here and be blessed by these putting surfaces and great weather as well.
Oh, it's like this all the time.
We've
forgotten about last week.
Sorry, yes. It's always sunny. It's always a zephyr of wind. It's never sideways rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds.
No, that's right. No, our greens never get flooded here. That's why we can't cancel any Scratch League matches, isn't it?
Correct.
Because that's the rule, apparently. I love all those things in black and white. Okay.
So this should be a little bit off the right. Oh, fantastic effort, that.
You see, on that putt, he's got to go outside the hole.
Yep.
And I think that's what... It's not just a little bit. I think it's probably a couple of inches outside the hole.
Something like that. And now, with the... sorry, Jed. And with the Northern Counties last time out here, I was up here marshalling, and a lot of the guys said that our greens are extremely difficult to read. They're very, very subtle. Unlike some of these courses where you can see the lumps and bumps nice and easily. Rob popped us in for his par. Let's... Yeah.
Love it.
Excellent. Great
Love
up and down that from Rob.
The man.
Going well. Our greens are very tricky to read, and like as we talked about already, playing with Marcus, who's his index is back down to 1.9 now. He's been here 26 years. Even he still gets foxed by some of the reads. So to still knock it round in like 71 is great. And hopefully another clean up par here.
Oh, we've got 5 under. Harrison Sewell.
Okay.
Is in 5 under.
Yep, that's 2 pars. Steady.
So we had a chat with the Northumbria guy about Harrison Sewell, who was
there he is. Thumbs up there for the camera.
It's brilliant, this, isn't it? It's the
Rob's
real
loving
deal. Now, I'm loving this. Jamie Arneil, 2 under, tied 4th.
Good going.
11.
Good.
This is great. Robbie Noon, 2 under. So let's have a look at this now. Let's start to just do a bit of calculation. If we've got Jamie in at 2 under, Robbie Noon at 2 under, Darrell is level. Let's have a think about this. Those other scores are going to come into play. Don't want to get too excited, but...
Oh, still early days yet.
It's early days.
At least they've had a good look at the course this morning, and then go out again with a bit more knowledge of where to maybe land the ball on the greens just for the better putts.
It's those par fives in it. These experienced players will be going, oh, you know what, I could have gotten into there.
They'll be licking their chops.
Licking their chops.
Big time. Like the first downhill, it's not long if you get you drive away through the gap. It'll leave these maybe mid iron in, I would have thought, if that. Then you got the third just over to the left of the 11th green there. That's you know what? It's a tough start. It's a tough start for the member. It's a tough start for anyone because there's a lot of trees on the right hand side.
It's that first hole, isn't it?
It is.
Don't get a 7. Don't get a 7.
Or a birdie. Never birdie the first.
Or a 3.
Or a par.
Yeah.
Don't get anything. I'll take a bogey on that. Doubles are usually what I end up on that one. But yeah, it's a tough start. Then you got the drive on the second, trying to aim yourself a little bit more to the left because a block right is going to be in those trees, and you know what, a pull left could be in that little triangle pocket of trees. Third, you've got all those trees down the right hand side, but there's a big planet on the left hand side.
Huge.
But if you're a big hitter, the old driving range can come into play for some.
I just think on the day, if you're going to hit a driver on that first hole, on the third, off the tee, you're hitting that because you're going to hit your second shot onto the green. There's no other reason. There's no other
correct.
reason.
Yeah.
There's no
yeah.
other reason.
Yeah.
So if you're not comfortable with it, the driver, you just bonk it down the left with anything, like a 4 iron, a 5 iron, then hit 6 iron, and then hit wedge your 9 in. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. Or smash your driver and then try and get on into. But I've still yet to learn the lesson.
Yeah, I would agree with that play, Jed, on 3. 9 you can get on into quite easily if you're quite close to the hedge. However, a little pull or a little push can end up in those gorse bushes. 13 can be it can be a bit of a gift of a hole as well, depending on the wind, especially if it's downwind. Doesn't leave you too much, but again, very easy to waft a drive right or pull it into those trees. And then 18, you know what? 18's a tricky finishing hole because once it gets baked just short of the green, it can be a bit of a lottery whether you bounce it down or if you want to be brave and land it on the mat and then bounce off the back.
I know, and again, once you kind of lose it on that hole, it runs away with you. Tell me, if you had a magic wand or 3 wishes, should we say, and you can bring Marcus's psyche into this.
Okay.
What are the things you do to the course? What are,
okay.
You've rubbed the lamp, the genie's come out. I grant you wishes. What do you do?
I don't think the start of the course needs changing. We've already had a big change with the driving range going up on the top side. That's a good putt. Because the old first hole comp tee, that was quite daunting. Into wind especially, that brought a lot of the trouble from even the first hedge.
The first hedge, absolutely.
Into play. So I'm sort of thankful that that's gone, especially in a monthly medal as well. It can be a bit of a horror show, so I wouldn't change the first or the second.
We've got John Oates, is that right?
Mr. Oates,
come in.
One of the
He's
usual.
always up for a bit of a chat.
From my Saturday 4-ball.
Oh, he's one of our Mount stalwarts.
It's good, yeah.
Just interview the lad, will you, John? Let's see.
So on your walk down, what have you seen? What have you thought? What are your thoughts about what you?
Course is great, Nick. Green's really good. The guys are playing well out there today. Really good scoring.
How do you think you'd fare on a
NR?
But you never NR.
Have you been out and about?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about any of the pin positions round and about?
They're pretty fair, I think. Though we just had a bit of an incident on 14 where one of the lads hit the ball up to the green, rolled off the front a little bit, and as he walked up, he went, "Who put that pin there?" And Gary was sitting there, and I went, "Gary did." Which was quite funny. But
So-
I think the pin positions are pretty fair.
So the pin on 14, where is it?
Back right, but it's just on top of the
that's
hill.
okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's good pin position.
As long as they avoid the left.
Yeah, left's tough up there, isn't it?
It
Really
is.
tough.
It is. It's a carbonic job, isn't it?
I think everyone's enjoying it as well at the minute. The lads I've spoke to.
Like the back left pin position, that was, you know what, that was the same. Oh, back left or back right?
Back left.
Okay, yeah, back
No,
left
no,
is
sorry, back right.
back right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was getting on before, but I got quite sidetracked. In the last time out of the Northern Counties, I was at the back of 14, and Alex Fitzpatrick, who's just won on the Challenge Tour the other week, he hit a little bit of a low groover 4-iron off the white tee, and it rolled up, and he made an ace on that hole, and it was fantastic to see. But it's not how, it's how many at the end of the day. Any other tricky pins that you've spotted?
No, they all seem pretty fair. Really fair. I can't think of one that's really hard. The 10th's always hard, isn't it? Back left, it's always tough there.
Like, to be fair, we're quite used to
Yeah.
the pins out here wherever they are. Some days they're good, some days not so. But at the end of the day, as long as it's, I don't know, within, well, more than 3 feet away from the edge, it is a legal pin. But with our greens, they are upturned bowls at the end of the day. And I will be honest, like if they are on a bit of a side slope, we are quite vocal at the weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, very much so.
I think it's it'd be worth like publishing a small book of Marcus Avery emails on where pins should and shouldn't be placed.
How long have you got?
Well, it'd be an almanac, I think.
It would be.
But it's there's so many options though. That's the beauty
Yeah.
of this course, isn't it? There's so many options. The green's so big, you're not restricted really. The green staff can use their imagination, can't they?
Yeah, like you were talking about the 3 wishes before John came along. Like one of them, I wouldn't redo all the greens, but I'd maybe add some more. I'd like to see a few more slopes in them, like proper ones. You know, like 14, like with the Mackenzie, that sort of thing. Like I don't mind that. Like some of these subtle breaks, I don't mind that, but I wouldn't mind seeing some proper ones as well.
I'll put you on the spot. 14, par 4, short par 4.
You know what, that was looked at a few years ago. Like move the tee box back a beam the 13th green, maybe reinstate the bunkers as well. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the idea of that. It's such a hard par 3, isn't it? 220 yards uphill sometimes, and then it's into the wind. It's a free wood, isn't it?
Well, I think when you go and play some of the other courses and you've got the run in, sometimes you've got like a gimme short par 4, haven't you, that you can have a go at. And at Mount Murray, that hole doesn't exist.
No.
Is
They're all hard to par 3s, aren't they, up here? Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Even, but there's no like a driving hole where you think, oh, I can get on here. So you play some of the courses where you think, oh, I'll have a pop at this.
Yeah, agree.
I think like 16 short, but it is very risk reward. Like if you hit a wafty one with too much spin, it's going to be in the trees. If you hit one too good, it could be OB over the back. Pull it left, you could be OB down the left hand side. Yeah, the par 3s are very tricky here, and you can't see the bottom of the flag. But I wouldn't mind seeing maybe some of the tee boxes raised up, so you could see the greens. Like I'm fortunate enough, not to brag, to have 3 aces round here.
You are kidding.
I'm not kidding now. One of them won 6, so I saw that. That was in Golf Week. That cost me 40 quid at the bar, which was all right. Then I did one in a practice round on 17, and I filmed. It looked good from the tee, so I filmed the walk up the hole from the tee, and then got to the hole, and it wasn't there. And then one was in a comp on the 4th, which was nice.
Oh, blimey.
Nice little 8-iron.
Nobody gets a hole in one there.
Well, I do.
No, who else?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. It's. I think a lot of the hole-in-ones recently have been on this one 11, 14, 14,
40, Steve Gardner.
especially that lower pin position.
Steve Gardner.
Yeah.
I don't know what was more exciting. Was it the hole in one, or
That's a good putt.
or like the wheels spin out the car park? I don't know. I think we're still waiting for that one.
With the blue lights on.
I think so. But
yeah. So wishes wise, I wouldn't mind a few more lumps and bumps in the greens. To maybe make a few greens not upturn bowls, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you're always sort of playing up from the side or down from the side banks. That's just one of the design features here. You know what? 13. I'd like to see a comp tee put right against the back wall.
oh yeah.
And maybe slightly off, maybe behind the bus stop, just to make it a bit more lengthy. So it's a proper meaty par 5 then.
Have you been like designing that when you've been driving the number 12? Is it number 2? What
So
number
it's
is it?
it's a 12 that goes south and an 11 that comes back, or a 2. Well done. I like your knowledge. You know what? 15 you could lengthen a little bit, so you could put a tee box sort of in the corner of the bank. They've taken some of the bank out now, just by the well. That would maybe bring the fairway bunker a bit more into play. 17. It's very difficult to raise maybe a tee box up a little bit. There's certain things you could do to this course just to not make it harder, but just add a bit of length, but not
The beauty of it is,
but not in your face.
it's massive.
It's a lot of ground.
Massive. Oh gosh, we've got Mark here. Mark, would you like to come in? We've got Mark Emmington, director, Gormis.
Hello, Jen. Hello, John. How's it going?
Fantastic today.
I've had a quick look at the scores, and it's terrible as a Lancashireman to see Yorkshire doing so badly at this moment in time. But hopefully they'll pull back this afternoon and get a little bit closer to Lancashire. How's it looking from the 11th then, Jen?
It's been good today. We've had a couple of twos. The lad who's up there at the top, is it Dan Hayes? Is he up there? Is he second, John?
He is just pulling up the scores now.
Yeah.
Harrison Sewell, he's leading with 5 under.
All right. And what county are we talking there, John?
So he's Northumberland.
Northumberland. All right, I see. Who's second and third?
So we've got Dan Hayes in second,
Yep.
who's 4 under. Greg Holmes, who's -3, he's through 11.
Yeah.
So the next in the clubhouse is Charlie Doherty from
Yorkshire.
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 He's 2 under.
Oh, well, he'll be able to go in there and get his soup and sandwiches then with the rest of the guys. I think it's a real good buzz around the place at the moment, Jed. We've got...
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
All this expertise. It's great to see the other counties, the captains, the entourage, and they're bringing so many stories to hear their experience. They've been playing golf in all these events, and they're loving it here.
Well, that's right. And from being at the bar last night, an awful lot of them know how to drink as well, Jed. I think the brighter the blazer, the more gin they drink. Seems to be the rule, Jed. I don't know if you picked that up yourself.
Well, they're on holiday, aren't they?
Well,
This is it.
I think seeing the look on a lot of them's faces this morning, you wouldn't think so, but I think they certainly let their hair down of an evening. It was you could see a few tense people, but I suppose in all seriousness, it's a very serious competition,
There's a lot at stake.
and it's one of the biggest amateur competitions there is, isn't it? And it'd be a springboard for some of these guys.
Absolutely. Have we got Darryl here? Is that Darryl on the tee? Let's have a look.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's one of the Manx lads.
Okay. It's just
Tony Collis on the back.
all right. It's
Who's
just
on the back?
Tony Collis.
is just thrown us a sly look there, Jed, as well, so he knows he's on camera, just to add that extra little bit of pressure.
Darryl loves the camera. Loves
He
it.
turns it on, does he?
Absolute ambassador for Manx golf.
All right. I notice he's gone for shorts as well. Oh, hang on, we've got a bit of action on the green here, Jen.
We have indeed. So this must be the last group that's coming in.
I mean, what I've noted from my observations of this, Jed, is that some of the things that we watch and commentate on the 11th, the quality is
yes.
much higher.
Yes. Yeah.
And dare I say, if we had the hole-in-one car on there today, it'd be a lot more risk. And just as I say that, we've got a ball off the back of the green here.
Oh, we've not been that. There's a bit of breeze now, you see.
Yeah.
But
it's a tricky hole.
You're right though. The corporate gives another dimension to the offering. But we've got a good one coming up in September. Manx Telecom are coming here, so
that'll be a good giggle.
we can resume normal duty on the standard.
That's it. Yeah, we can lower the professionalism a little bit when it comes to the commentating. So, what are your thoughts on the competition so far, then, Jen? What are you seeing?
What I've seen is some good scores from the Manx boys. Jamie Arneil, as he's 200 at the moment. Rob Noon, as you know, is
fantastic.
Is doing well. He's a couple under. So the Manx are holding their own in some quarters. I think things can change in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I think tiredness does come into it. I think those players that are disciplined and got that commitment and control and that experience, that really shows through. There's a heck of a lot of what can I say? You picked up on it before. Competition between Lancashire and Yorkshire.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. I mean, I was speaking to Bob Stoffel from the Northern Counties, and he's not partisan really. He's proudly wearing his Yorkshire badge on his thing there. But it's good. It's good to see. I think a little bit of healthy competition is always a good thing, and like you say, playing 2 rounds of golf in quick succession for these guys, because I mean, as we've seen, Monday and Tuesday they've been practicing quite heavily as well. They're on the range, they're out on the course. It's very serious, isn't it? Very serious.
It is indeed, because over the years, this competition has been a platform for players who've gone on to great things, who've become world standard golfers. So
Tommy Fleetwood, for instance.
Exactly, Danny Willett. These are the stars. These are the stars.
And a shout out to EG Services over there doing some tarmac works next to the 11th.
Oh, excellent timing.
We didn't book these in; they just turned up. But thank you for them for maintaining our road network.
Oh, so there's a few potholes getting filled in there. What's
Yeah, well, it's
much needed?
It's kind of the opposite of the Manx government. What they do over there, they have a residents' association, and they, when a pothole appears, they fill it in. So it's interesting.
A bit of common sense and the job gets done.
So I know that there's a lot more people walking than just players, Jed. Can you explain why?
Well, Darryl Collister, of course, he's what you'd call a local icon, and he's got a few of the Manx golfing community just out following him, giving him a bit of support in the afternoon, which is always nice.
So is it like an entourage?
Yeah, well, you've actually got one of the best golfers on the Isle of Man, Linda Simpson, ex-Curtis Cup player,
Right.
mother of Charlie Simpson.
Oh,
So she's out there today, and she is the sweetest striker of any golf ball. Absolutely fantastic. So she's out. It'd be good to grab her later on.
ooh, whoa, just at the end there. I noticed we've had so many compliments on the greens this week. I've told Gary the greenkeeper, and he's blushing a little bit, but they look really good today, Jed.
I think it's fair to say that it's the best putting surface on the island. 18 times over.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the guys are saying that these are the best greens they've played on all year, so that's quite the compliment.
And these lads that are playing today, they play at Royal Birkdale and Lytham and the top courses around the UK. So what a testament.
Yeah, it's good, and it's perhaps we should shout about it a little bit more on the island, that we've got such a great facility, and hopefully a few of these guys will come back and play again when they're not in competition.
Well, the beauty of it is that these lads will have memories of the Isle of Man, forever. They'll go, remember that trip away, and
Yeah.
and the weather was fantastic, and they can share that, with their friends and their other team members and golfers and family, and they will come back. There's no question about it.
I'm sure. I mean, I think the majority of the guys are stopping in the hotel as well, so they're using the pool and the gym and the other facilities as well as the golf course, and hopefully they'll get some time to enjoy some of the scenery, the coast, and perhaps even see the Laxey Wheel, Jed.
Well, some of the, I think the gin drinkers were doing a bit of tourism yesterday whilst the lads were practicing, and they did take the electric tram up to Laxey and beyond. And as we can see today, there is Snaefell in the distance. Do you ever go up on the tram up to Snaefell?
I have done, yeah, and again, being slightly nuts, I've walked up there as well, Jed, and there's a little cafe up the top, which is very nice, run by a lady called Adriana, I think. So there's a little prize waiting for you when you get up there, providing you pick the right day.
Oh, it's a great feature though, because you've got that tram, and then you've got the excitement of it coming down, haven't you?
Well, we all know what that feels like, Jed. The other thing that, going back to the gin drink, because we've obviously had to put a significant order in for gin this morning, and I believe it was just dropped off with an armoured car before. So we've had that marched in by the security guys, and so there's plenty of gin for tonight's festivities. I think there's a presentation and a gala dinner and some other bits and pieces, so that should be good.
That's great, and they can perhaps have the footage again on screen in the dining room, but maybe just turn the commentary down.
Oh yes, please, definitely. I think that we wouldn't want to wish that upon them, Jen. But yeah, I was again lucky enough to be invited to the Isle of Man Golf Union cocktail party last night, Jen.
Oh, blimey.
Which is worth discussing during this lull in proceedings.
Oh, absolutely. That must have been. So it was like the great and the good from the Isle of Man golf fraternity converging and sharing all the goodness and well-being about Isle of Man golf at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're familiar with the Monaco Grand Prix yet, but it was the scenes reminiscent of the Monaco Grand Prix, such opulence and all the rest of it. But yeah, a lot of green jackets in the room, a few other bits and pieces, and I think there's. Bob did a speech and a few other things, so it was quite good. I think everybody had a good time, and then went downstairs to the Brulot and got themselves a steak as well. So
fantastic!
All was well in the world.
Anything that the Golf Union does always provides a bit of entertainment or even excitement. It's quite remarkable, really.
Yeah, and I suppose, have we mentioned the volunteers today, Jed?
Well, the volunteers, we've got not just the likes of, say, our green staff that have been working tirelessly and have been putting in the extras. We've actually got club members who've been out on the course and helping with the flags just to show that the ball is in place, or the likes of now. We've got two of our lady members just up on the hill there.
Oh yeah, I can see them.
Just up on the hill there. And they're going to notify that the ball's in play and it's all safe to proceed.
Christine Lowe I can see in the distance.
Christine.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
Anyway, we'll get a report back on that later.
Linda Furness, that's who it is.
Oh, good show. Well,
Linda Johnson.
I mean, Richard Creemore, as well as being a jolly good greenkeeper and a jolly good egg, is looking after the volunteers today. And I think we've got somewhere in the region of 20 throughout the day, because they're doing various shifts, because obviously it's a long day to be stood up on the hill without any refreshments or whatever. So we want to say thank you to them.
That's right. I think we've got the president of the club, Bob Love. I think he's around. I think we've got young Jackson in action, one of our top junior members. So
he's winning the odd competition, isn't he, Jen, if I'm right?
Yeah, the juniors are cleaning up regularly, which is always good. Nice to see a bit of development coming through, and they're on that ladder of reaching the higher echelons of Manx golf.
No, well, that's it. It's the children are our future, Jed.
I think you could make a song.
I think we probably should.
Introduce that into a song.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Have you seen that film about Whitney Houston? Would you watch that? I don't know, like a biography.
Whitney Houston biography. I've seen Bodyguard.
No, they've actually done a movie.
Right.
about Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Worth a view if you're into that kind of thing. You know.
Right.
Mother Angelica, isn't it? Dionne Warwick's in it somewhere along
Right.
the line. It's quite a dynasty. Hey, I tell you what, there's Marcus Avery.
All right.
He's
So
come to give his opinion.
he'll have something to say.
How are the pin placements today, Marcus?
Perhaps that, or there'll definitely be something.
He'll be,
There should be a ball washer there or something.
he'll be
over.
saying,
Oh,
he'll be saying that it's too close.
it's too close, dangerous. Oh, it's too easy apparently. That's it.
Yeah. We've put all the pins in the middle of every green today.
Yeah.
Come and join us, Marcus. Let's just have a bit of. Have you been out for a look round the course?
Yeah, no, I've just had a look at number 2, and I was watching your stuff this morning. It's very good, actually. Enjoyed it.
It's great to have you with us today because you are a member of, what can I say, such status, 26 years at the Mount. I'm going to ask you the question, 1 to 10, condition of the course.
Oh, 10, no question. Perfect. I don't think I've ever seen the greens so good. Beautiful. And they've been rolled a couple of times, so they're going to be pure as you can get, really. And looking at the pins, they're pretty generous, I think. I think Richard was telling me, the greenkeeper, that 15, 16, 17 and 18 are challenging.
Oh, so where will it be on 16?
16 is back left, 15 is middle right side on the slope, 17 is front of the green on the slope, and 18 is back left
18.
or middle left on the slope. So that you set it up to be generous to start off with, and then much tougher coming into the last 4 or 5 holes.
16 is quite a menace at times, isn't it?
It's a great hole.
That green,
Fabulous.
that green can reduce normal people. Well.
Yeah. Well, the secret to that one is you've got to be left of the flag wherever it is, and preferably short left of the flag. But I think today you're going to struggle to do that because it's back left. Very difficult to get underneath the hole.
We know that there are Mount Murray members tuning in, and you're going to see a lot of expertise, a lot of nice stuff on the camera, but just listen, record that what Marcus said about how to play the 16th green, and I guarantee it will improve your year in golf. Because not everyone knows that, do they?
Oh, I don't know. It just comes from experience playing that hole, doesn't it? I mean, in the winter time, you can go for the green in with your tee shot, so you got a little bit more to play with. But this time of year, when it's running a bit hard and fast, it's a much better hole laying up with a sort of 7-iron and a wedge in, and actually, it's a really inviting shot. But it's a tough green. It's the defence of the hole is how tough the green is. There's so much slope on there. I'm actually going up to do some marshalling up there later on. So I'll be quite interested to see how the guys get on putting to that flag.
Make a few notes. Yeah, that'd be good. So tell me, when you're playing Mount Murray, and there are some holes that ask the question, do you get asked that on the third, or do you just play it a certain way every time?
Well, for me, it depends on wind direction. It's a 3-shotter for me because I don't have the power of some of the guys. But it's a real challenge because they've brought the out of bounds in on the left hand side. It's a lot tighter now, so you can't just bail left, and obviously down the right hand side you're struggling. It all kicks right as well. So depending on wind conditions, it's probably a 3-wood for me, and a rescue and a wedge. It's very rare that off the back tee I'll go for that in 2 unless it's downwind. But it is, yeah. You can. I've noticed the scores down there today have been really good though. And I've been watching your coverage, and I haven't seen anybody going right into the hazard or the trees, which is quite surprising, really. You think some of them would have done, but they seem to have played that hole really well.
And just looking, some of the Manx lads seem to be performing well. I'm not gone too far down the leaderboard, but we'll just look on the positives at the moment. I've got Jamie there. He was 2 under after this hole 11. It's not been updated as yet. And we got Robbie came off here. I think he's been going well. Darryl is level.
Yeah.
So we're holding our own.
Well, Darryl's just told me he's 1 under so far this lap, and he's 2 holes in. So he should be 1 under for the whole tournament so far.
Yeah. So we're not quite up to date with the scoring as yet. Oh, hang on. This is round 1. So they were all done. Let me have a look down here, see who we've got. Yeah, Darryl. Robert Noon finished level.
That's solid.
So what happened there? Let's see how he finished then, because he seemed to be going well. He knows this place inside out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a very good player. Obviously, junior golfer here, learnt to play as a kid here. He's previous club champion, very good golfer. He's obviously got the power as well to score really well on the par 5s, as has Jamie Arneal. And this actual win today, if you ask the big hitters, they love this win because it makes the par 5s easily reachable in 2. And for those guys, that's bread and butter for them.
It's good though to have an event like this of this calibre on the course, isn't it? It means a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, we think it's the best course on the island. We're biased, we're members, but if you look at the condition of it, you couldn't ask for more, really. I was talking to Bob Quilliam, president of the Isle of Man Golf Union, this morning. He's been chatting to quite a few of his opposite numbers of the other golf union, the presidents and stuff, and they can't speak highly enough of it. I think it's in fantastic condition. So do the players, and testament to Gary and the team that he's put the course together in such great nick. I don't think I've ever seen it this good.
There's nothing out of place, is there?
Nope, fantastic. I mean, and the greens, you know, they're proper tour standard. The speed's up to 11, I believe. I think Gary rolled them this morning and did a stimp reading. He also told me they've had to move the pin on 14 for this afternoon because it was just too quick where it was.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard it first.
Well, Richard Creammore's just told me that the pin was on the left-hand side of the green on 14 this morning, which is a really tough pin position because it's basically one big slope, and it was too fast. So the guys couldn't keep the ball on the green from above the hole, so he's moved it to the back right, which is where, if we were going to try and shoot a good number, that's where you'd want it to be, on the back right.
Tell me, that hole, the 14th, turned it into a par 4?
Yeah.
That didn't take long,
Definitely. I mean, the green is fantastic, but I don't really think it's designed to be hitting, 214 yards, generally uphill into the wind. So, for a lot of us, we're taking woods, and the green is one of the most challenging greens on the island.
I think when you've got that shot where you're hitting a 2-iron and you're hitting it on the green.
What's a 2-iron, Jed?
It's from the 1980s. But when you hit a real tough shot and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
It really brings everything out of you. It's a bit like 7. That 7th hole can be tough.
Very tough. I mean, especially when they put the pin on the left-hand side. I don't even aim for the green. I just aim for the right-hand side. I know the bank brings it in. It's just, again, over 200 yards, and you've literally got to land it on the green to keep it on the green, because there's nothing before it. You can, on the left-hand side, there's just a massive slope and a bunker.
But you see, when you're playing par golf at Mount Murray and you've come off the 4th, and there's all kinds of questions being asked on the 4th.
Yeah.
If you don't hit the green, to come off with a 3.
Yeah. I mean, you always want to miss it right if you can, because you're pitching back up the slope. But you generally miss it left because you know that slope, anything landing halfway on the right hand side of that green is going to kick off into the bunkers, which, to be honest, I would prefer to be in the bunker than left of the green. But the par 3s around this golf course off the white tees are the challenge. And if you can get round the par 3s in a good score, you generally play well.
So when you're on 5 and you're going along nicely, what's your play off the tee?
In the summertime, 3-wood is usually enough, because driver will bring the hedges into play, even for me, Jed.
What line are you going on there?
Again, depends on wind direction, but I tend to hit a cut, so just left of the marker pole and let it cut in. But you quite often get hard right winds there, so you just use the wind, ride it. You really want to be in the fairway, because that green, to stop the ball is really challenging, even off the fairway. So because it tends to run away from you, and it's pretty quick. And in the summertime, when it's hard and dry, you can even off the fairway, if you land the ball short of the green, it runs on the green and goes off the back. So
now then, that green looks innocent and innocuous, yet it can kill you.
Oh, again, depends where they put the flag. The toughest flag as you play it is front right on that front slope. Anything towards the back of the green is generous, because the ball tends to roll to the back anyway. So if you're at the back of the green and the pin's at the front, you've got real problems.
I always find that if you come off there and you've done all right up to there, you can just have a bit of a breather, because 6 shouldn't be cruel to you.
Shouldn't be. 6 is obviously the easiest of the par 3s here, off the whites and off the yellows. But there's danger lurking there if you go a little bit long. Again, front bunker on 6 is not a bad place to be, depending on where the flag is. But you just don't want to be long there, do you?
No, and then 7, again, you've got to hold your breath again on the tee, and then how often do you hit that green? Is it like 50%?
Oh, less than off the back tee, less than that for sure. It's a tough 14 and 7. I'll take 4s on both of them.
So when we go on to the 8th hole, again, you kind of just have a bit of a breather until you come up to your second shot, and there's a magnet in that edge on the left.
Well, it's interesting because the fairway slopes left to right, which generally makes the ball go to the right, so that you aim a little bit further left, and then you pull it, don't you, Jed? Straight into the hedge
and beyond, if you're unlucky. And then the green again, you're landing on a tabletop.
Yeah.
You don't get many long putts going in there.
No, again, quite a slopey green. Lots of subtle break on there. Very few straight putts.
9, you've got a bit of a rest, haven't you? Just knock it to the hedge and blat it.
Well, again, 9's the easiest hole on the course, I think. The green's the challenge. Again, if they put the pin on the left-hand side, it's not that difficult. Whenever they put the pin on the right-hand side of the spine, especially at the front, that's where you start having problems. So not for the big boys, because the big boys are getting on in 2.
And really, you should be, making it a par 4.5.
Again, for these guys, they should be mincemeat, making mincemeat of it.
With this wind.
Yeah.
With this wind, it'd be interesting. It'd be nice to be out there really to see him play. But so if we just go on to 10, is that one of the toughest tee shots of the day?
Yeah, it's like 2. 2, there's not really any bailout because left and right is bad. On 10, you can bail out over the left into the rough between the 10th and the 9th, and that is where most people will be aiming, especially the guys that have got a little bit of distance with the driver, because the little copse of trees which is on the left, they take that out of play. So I would expect these guys to be almost playing down the 9th.
But then when you're on that green and how much it's running away, so the pin must be at the back, because I can't see it from here.
Yeah, pin is back right, which if you do bail left off the tee, that makes that much more difficult. Again, it's not a nice pin position, but it's certainly not the worst one. The back right position is the worst one there, which is on a massive downslope. But that's a very challenging hole, and I don't think there'll be many birdies on there.
No, and then of course we come to 11, where really it's one tee hitting it onto something the size of 3 tennis courts. It should be easy,
but it isn't.
It
isn't, because again, the green's big, so you get on the green. And I was watching your coverage this morning. There was an awful lot of people hit the green and 3-putted.
I know. It was woeful at times, very upsetting.
Well, it's a difficult green to read. Subtle breaks, optical illusions, and that pin today, pretty central. Again, I would say that's generous. It's a relative flat spot. If it was further, it was 10 yards left of that, up in that little corner. That's not nice.
No, because you love those pin positions. So,
3 feet off the left, 4 feet off the right. That's what we play in, week week out, don't we, Jed?
yeah, I'll get the emails out. So if we walk across the car park and we go on to the 12th tee, again, I'd say this is asking a bigger question than the 10th, really.
Tightens, yeah, the drive tightens the further down you go. You can't go right because you're going to go over the hedge, and nowadays you're going to lose a ball because it's big, thick rough down there. And actually the tee box, both tee boxes, the yellow tee box and the white tee box, kind of set you towards that hedge. The best thing about the white tee box is you can play down the left quite easily. You know, the angle of the hole is much improved from the white tee box, whereas the yellow tee box, you've almost got to hit draw.
But you hit in driver every time?
Off the whites, yeah, on 12. It's 434 yards, so, you know, you can't really take less than that unless you've got wind behind.
But, as you know, you can get yourself into position A and you might have a 7 or a 6.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And it's one of the rare holes on the Isle of Man where you've hit a really good drive and then you've got to hit an excellent second shot.
Yeah, that green is really tricky because the front right portion of it slopes dramatically from left to right, and anything landing anywhere on that sort of side of the green will just roll off to the right hand side. The left hand side of the green is much flatter, but yeah, it's a challenging hole. If you it's a stroke index 4, I think, for the club golfers, and it deserves to be number 4.
So again, it's not one where you see many big putts go in. It can be a tricky up and down. I find from even the left hand side it should be easy, but sometimes the green dies on me.
Right.
On that. So if we go on to the 13th, Jono was saying we should have that tee right back to his bus stop.
Yeah. I've said that for years. It would be a much better hole, adding another 50 yards and changing the angle. It's the best hole on the course, the one that you expect to score on.
Yeah.
Straightforward off the tee, although it plays uphill. It's probably the easiest hole on the golf course, and it's one of the prettiest, I think, because you get to see everything in front of you. You can see up the hill, but I think if you change the angle, move it back 50 yards, it would make it a much more challenging hole, and I think a better hole. But as it stands, it's one of those, you stand on the tee, you put your ball down, and you really believe that you can make birdie.
And would you say it's the fairest green on the course? Not the fairest, but the most readable, kindest?
Yes, it's not a difficult green to read. There's not huge amounts of break on that one. You fancy a 6 or 8 footer on that green. So
you've walked off the 13th green, and then you're greeted with this mental test. Because the first thing is that you look into that green, and the pin is in like one of 4 or 5 impossible places.
We are talking about 14, yeah?
14,
yeah. Well, everything on the left-hand side of that green is a nightmare, especially off the back tee, because it's just, what is it, probably an 8 or 9 degree slope from back to front. If you look at, think about a clock face, if you're at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock from the hole, you're going to be having a few putts unless you hole the first one, because it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. It just needs a windmill on it and a clown's face, that one. The front right is okay, although there's a lot of slope on that, subtle slope, but you do have a backstop when you're playing into the hole, which makes it easier to hit that section of the green. But the easiest hole, the easiest pin position on there is on the back right.
And we've had a few hole-in-ones there where it's been a little off the yellow tees, which has been quite nice this year. Did you and he get one?
Oh, I don't know.
He did.
Might have done. Well, the last time the Northern Counties was here, Alex Fitzpatrick, now of the European Tour, who was playing for Yorkshire, he had a hole-in-one on that hole.
Blimey. I remember Kevin Moore having a hole-in-one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Kevin Moore is like Mount Murray's surrogate son in a way. He plays well up here.
He does. Yeah. There's some players that can go out anywhere and play well, and Kev's one of those guys. He's really good round here.
He is. Now 15. When you're on the tee, I always think I can drive it, but I'm too old now.
Yeah. Well, I can't drive it, but these boys can, for sure. I mean, I play golf on a Saturday with Al Williamson, and he hits the green regular. So there's Johnny Oates.
It's easy for him.
So the likes of
So Rob Noon, for instance, Jamie O'Neill, you know, the Alman squad, those guys, that you know, Liam Cowan, those guys can get the green there.
And really, it's such an advantage to get up there, isn't it? Because when you've got that shot where, and it's taken me a bit of time to learn, is the slope is giving you so much more gradient on your club.
Yeah.
So you've got to like even just chip up with a 9-iron or.
Well, it looks such an easy shot that, but because you're so far below the level of the hole and on an upslope, and the green is like a saucer, it's very difficult to get close to that pin, even with a wedge in your hand. And today it's middle right, so you have to be right at that flag. If you're on the left-hand side of the green, you've got a real challenge. I'd rather miss the green on the right than be on the left-hand side of the green.
You see, Mount Murray members that are going to be listening to this, you are getting subscription-free golf tuition expertise from Marcus Avery here. He knows that was a good shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's Daughtry, isn't it, from Yorkshire. He's handy. So we've talked about 16. That you were saying that there's a golden rule on the green there.
Yeah. Got to be left of the flag and try to be short of it as well, so that you're leaving yourself an uphill right to lefter.
So I'm going well in the monthly medal. I've got off 16 and maybe I've got a few shots spare. I'm standing on that tee and I've got all kinds of stuff going through my head.
17 it comes at the wrong time in your round, doesn't it?
Comes at the wrong time in my life.
I mean, it's massively up. It plays something like 12 or 13 yards uphill, which people don't usually account for because they see the number on the scorecard and they come up short, especially short right in that bunker, or even worse, short right, short of the bunker, and then it's difficult. And then you've got the OB on the left-hand side. You've got those two horrible trees.
Yeah.
You know, for me there, it's the best way is to aim, take enough club to miss the green long and chip back. Take long because it takes the front bunker out of play. It takes that horrible chip over the bunker out of play. Long, you're not going to have too much of a problem. The other thing is that the green, although the whole plays massively uphill, the green slopes away from you. So if you go long on the 17th, you're chipping back into the slope, which makes it easier to get the ball to the hole.
That's if you can chip. I'm like looking on eBay at Bronte Chip Masters at the moment. My life has fallen apart, I think, with my short game. So when I've managed to get off 17, it's a dilemma on the 18th tee. You're taking in the view. You can see the wind farm in all its glory. The mountains in Cumbria, probably the best view on the Isle of Man, I think, for any golf course. And you've got this dilemma. You've got an option, haven't you, over the right?
Yeah. I mean, again, wind dependent and depends on how far you hit the ball, but I would expect a lot of these guys today will be aiming over the right hand trees, almost down the 15th fairway and giving it a smack. Because if they go down the fairway, these boys will run out of fairway and brings the hedge into play. For guys like me, that's not normally a problem running out of room. So I tend to go down the middle. I tend to aim. There's a bush on the middle left of the fairway, almost in the driving range, and that's my line. If you push it or pull it, you're all right.
Well, it's nice to have that second shot that can clear the big fairway bunker. Yeah. And if you can get past that and you just get that projection down the slope, you've got a nice little chip in, haven't you? Yeah,
you have.
You're in Comfortville.
But now they've changed the shape of the fairway. It forces you much further right with your second, and that big bunker in the fairway is in play a lot more than it used to be. Because they've got that OB on the left-hand side, which makes you aim a little bit further right, and it brings it in. So it's clever design now that it does that to you. The difficulty with that shot then is you're playing to a green where the first 6 or 7 yards is an upslope, and then the rest of it runs away from you, and left and right like a bowl. So where that flag is today, which I believe is middle back left, the ball's running away towards the bunkers. And that's really, if you're on the right hand side of the green, you've got a 20-footer, you could easily leave it 5 short, and if you go 2 or 3 long, you're going to be almost de-greening it. So that'd be interesting.
You've given me an idea then. I think when we're through here, I might get all this kit and take it onto the 18th green in that area. That could be fun.
Could be fun, yeah.
Because it could be some trauma.
Yeah, well, as I said, Richard, the greenkeeper here, has been here now 3 years. He said that they've set it up so that the last 4 holes have got proper challenging flags. Which I suppose, if you think about it, these guys are top-class golfers, some of the best in the UK. And if they're in with a shout of a good score and winning the thing, they're going to be challenged in the last 4 holes to keep it together.
The best man will win, as he said.
Yeah, surely. Should do. I mean, there's nothing about the course today where there's any luck involved. You know, we haven't had bad weather in the morning and good weather in the afternoon, and vice versa. The course is set up brilliantly. Pins are friendly, or in some are friendly and some are difficult. So it's set up for the best golfer to win, isn't it?
But you know, say some of the other courses on the Isle of Man where you can get to a point where you're on 14 or 15 and you think, okay, I can just play in.
Yeah.
So we know what those courses are.
Yeah.
We know, they're not too far from here, and really, you get tested to the end.
You do. I mean, usually 15 and 16, if you play them sensibly, are proper birdie chances. And 18 can be a birdie chance, but it's different when you're a couple under and you think you've got a chance of winning. 17 is the one where it shatters dreams. We've all done it. We've all gone up there with a good score in our hand and come off with a 5 or a 6 or something worse.
Yeah. Great, I finished 17th on championship qualifying day because of a 6 there. Tears.
Yeah, easily done. You get underneath that tree on the left hand side and you're not out of bounds, but you've got to take 2 club drop, and even then you'd probably still got your bum in the tree.
So, a bit prickly situation. That's been absolutely fantastic. So we've got the members tuning in. We've been treated to a direction. It's almost like a manual of golf there, verbally, from yourself, Marcus.
No.
25 years, is it?
No, I think it was a year after it opened. 95, I think I joined, maybe 96. So, what's that, 28, 27 years? Yeah.
27 years. That's a lot of shots, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you had an ace?
Not here. I have had an ace, but not here.
Where was that then? Where did you have
It was at the Montgomery course in Turkey.
The Montgomery tour?
It's the one where they have the Turkish Airlines Open in November time each year.
Is that one of those places where they have unlimited free bar?
Yeah.
Is it one of those?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
How did you get around the drinks? And did you?
Well, it's funny because we went to the golf course and obviously we were all inclusive, so you didn't take any money with you. But the actual golf course, the bar was a pay bar.
Oh.
So I didn't have any money to buy anybody a drink. I had to borrow some money off one of my mates. And everybody refused to accept a drink in that bar because it was expensive, and they said, we'll get one back at the hotel.
Oh, poetry.
Yeah.
That's absolute joy. So, have you been playing with anyone who's had hole-in-one when you've been here?
Yeah, I have. I played with Neil Dunwell, who had one on this very hole, the 11th. It was a challenging, interesting one. Yeah, there was a few deflections, let's say,
really?
Before the ball went in the hole. Yeah,
brilliant.
But that was great, and Neil's my best mate, so it was great to see him have one. I played with Mark Skeldin, who had one on the 6th.
And he's not exactly an accomplished golfer.
Well, at the time, I think at the time he was probably off about 12 or 15.
Yeah.
So we're going back 10 years at least, probably. I'm sure I've played with other people who've had them, but those two stick out.
It's always nice, isn't it?
Oh,
nice.
It's always nice to see somebody have one, isn't it?
Yeah. Lovely,
Such a privilege to be able to get an hole-in-one. I mean, I've played golf 30 years and I've only had one. And I know people have had 6 or 7.
You know Mel Todd?
I don't know.
He's proper old stage Isle of Man golfer. He's had about 20 hole-in-ones. And I played with him in 1995 in the Champs at Douglas, which Ray Sale won, amazingly. And he had a hole-in-one on the par 3 then, about halfway around. And he was like, ball goes in, he goes, oh, I'd have 8 or 9 of them, make no difference. And he's just gone on and on and on. So he must be up there in the record books. Plays up the Rock and down at Kesseltown.
All right.
Some people have got it. I think you've got to play a left to right. You don't get many right to lefties getting.
I think it helps if you're not playing 215-yard par 3s every week, though.
I think you've got a good point there, I reckon. So you play a bit with Jono. We had him on air before. big noise at 3FM. His handicap, what? It's just come down. What's been the secret?
Right, so he had a bit of a rough patch, let's say.
Yeah.
And he's had a couple of lessons with Andy Patterson, who's got him working on a couple of things, and he's been playing really good the last 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. He's been right up there. His handicap's been coming down the last few weeks. He's been in the prize money.
I like that, because you hear so many golfers talking about YouTube videos. And I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and your head just gets filled full of magic. I mean, you've got quality golf productions on YouTube like this, and then you've got all this guff where it's all this, like, I don't know, over technology, over theorising, and just get out and play the game. And we've got, you know, people around who can give a lesson, and like going down and seeing Patty.
Yeah. Well, it's Anal.
Right,
We've got qualified PGA professionals, and you know, if you're struggling with your game, you go and have a word.
You can go and have some therapy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's not a cheap thing, is it, having a golf lesson? But it can make a massive difference to your game.
Absolutely.
And you can earn that back in prize money in just a couple of rounds. So.
And the satisfaction. I tell you what, if you look to your left there, if you've seen that cake stand just through the window there, no, there. Look at them beauties there.
Yeah, someone's having an afternoon tea, aren't they?
It's like a 3-story cake fest, isn't it, going on?
Don't let me anywhere near them.
Well, that's it. My mind's gone in another direction now. Right. Well, there we go. So you're going up to where?
I've gone up to the 16th
to the 16th.
to do some marshalling. So it's good to volunteer for these things, isn't it?
Fantastic. And hats off to all the Mount Murray members who are giving up their free time on a Wednesday.
Yeah, there's loads of them out there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, you know, we're ambassadors for the Isle of Man, aren't we? The courses, the hotel. You know, hopefully these guys are going to go back and tell people what a great facility it is and what a great golf course, and hopefully we'll get a few more visitors.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mark.
All right, no worries.
Okay, we'll tune in later. I might get the camera over that end because I think that could be the action area. I've got Mark back now.
Hello, Jed. Good to be back.
Great. We had the Marcus Avery Guide to Golf on Mount Murray. So we're talking about tricky pin positions, his favourite subject.
Well, it's no stranger to having his bum in a tree, apparently. So that was an interesting little vignette. I mean, Marcus has been here for many years, and he's very, very passionate about his golf, and it's very interesting to listen to his opinion. So it's good. It's good. A little bit quiet at the minute, Jed. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think we've just got a bit of a gap. We've got a few up on the top, but there's been quite a gap formed. So we've got some guys. I think the first one's out. Darren Collister might be up there around on the fourth green. But yeah, we've got a bit of a gap, so gives the players a bit of time to recover themselves.
So, I mean, how difficult is it to play 36, 2 rounds of 36 holes in a day, Jen?
I think it's all about preparation.
Yep.
Okay, so you can't go out and have a skinful the night before, obviously.
Damn it.
Because these are athletes. These are athletes.
That's true. Yeah.
But I always found you've got to get the basics. So it's the likes of your hydration. Then there's the likes of, say, your footwear. So you can't be coming out with a crappy old pair of golf shoes where, you know, after, say, the first 18 they're steaming.
Yep.
Or the other thing I always found it's good to have a change of underwear.
Alright, this is interesting. There's always something with you, Jen.
Or a change of clothing because you don't want to get a little bit sweaty, you know.
Understood.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So you want to start that second round a little bit refreshed.
Yeah.
Now there are certain things and players have got different habits.
Oh, I see. Lucky things, superstitions, that kind of thing.
Well, I've only got one superstition in golf.
Right.
And
Can we discuss this on air, Jed?
it's no problem at all.
All right.
And that is my avoidance of 50 pence pieces.
Okay, can you expand on that, Jed? Because it seems...
I just find them unlucky to use as ball markers. Okay, because you've got a coin in your pocket, and as soon as I put 50p out, I can't use it as a ball marker. I think I had a bad experience once,
Right.
with that. So that is my only superstition. But other members have got all these little traits, and I'm sure they'd be willing to share them. I think this is the cabin. I think this is one of our lads.
It could be a video in itself, that, John. Yeah.
No, but I think there's a couple of things. So
Oh.
you get players who, at half time, do you go and distance yourself from everyone else?
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about the game and maybe over-examine the faults you've made? Do you want to be exposed to other people's, I don't know, negativity
Yep.
or their positivity? I don't know.
Hmm.
Do you sit in the car park and eat your sandwiches just alone, listen to the radio, get away from it? You might want to tune into the Manning line or something really interesting
Yeah,
like that.
fill your boots. Yeah.
Or are there any other things where you need to perhaps stay in the zone
Hmm.
or get out of the zone?
I mean, at this level, will these guys have performance coaches and people like that that help them with the psyche? Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The likes of being in that place,
Hmm.
because you can play a round of golf in the morning, you can be competent, you can do well. But in the afternoon, you're a different person.
Right.
Your energy levels have changed. It's a bit like yourself.
Hmm.
So that when you come into work,
Yep.
you can be like full on, absolutely, performing well, and then you have some lunch, and then 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you want to put your feet up.
Pulls you down a bit. I see.
So it's things like that. Your diet, your tolerances. Do you have too much to drink? Or there's the other one:
Mm-hmm.
is do you do something that's out of the ordinary?
Take your mind off golf. Mm.
This is it. So really, I think the trick is to find out when you've played well, is to review it and work out why.
What did you do? Yeah, that's
Was it
interesting.
anything different? Was it a bowl of pasta, or was it a madras?
Very interesting.
These are the questions.
We'll have to ask a few of these guys. I mean, I think I'd be going for the Madras personally, but that's personal choice. So,
Where is good for a madras at the moment? Where are you?
I'm
fancy one now?
well, I'm a fan of curries and steaks, and they do a tikka steak, I think it's called, something like that, and you can get chips with curry sauce, which are absolutely fantastic, and they do the large bottles of beer that go alongside that as well. So there's something for everybody.
I do. That's Shri, isn't it? I do like going up that end of
Mm.
the prom. We've got quite a good offering, haven't we, for curry houses?
I think we have. I mean, just walking down the prom there, you've got the curries and steaks, you've got L'Experience, and as it goes down, decent pub, the Queens, and just potter all the way along. There's a lot of things going on. Jack's have a great steakhouse. Obviously, the best restaurant in the islands of Brullo, which is behind us here. But other than that, there's a lot of choice. It's good.
I must admit, those cakes are catching my eye. I see it on that table there on the left. They disappeared quite quick.
Just making short work of it. Perhaps they've heard that you're in town, Jed, and that you might just leave commentary momentarily to go and fill your pockets with
You get like
cakes.
a tri-story cake delivery system.
Absolutely, yeah.
What did they call that? Like a tower of cake?
Well, it's called Cake Stand, and it's not unique to the Isle
So
of Man.
scientific.
I've been around the block, you see. But yeah, it's not unique to the Isle of Man. I think there are a few places, but probably don't do them as good as the
So
Cornish.
it's not a tri-cake delivery platform.
No, I don't think so. That might be something that you've seen on Star Trek. But I think the thing that impresses me most, not only the speed at which the cake is being devoured, it's the prosecco that's going alongside it. So, I mean, how else would you enjoy a Tuesday afternoon?
Oh, that is the way to go, isn't it?
I suppose this is. I'm guessing these are. Do we have wags in golf, Jed?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's banks. I
Oh, good grief!
don't know. Sorry.
So,
No.
anyway,
No.
I
Do.
I
Yes, you do.
think if you're a golf widow, it's cake and prosecco all the way. I think is the answer.
It's actually busy in there. I thought they were all in.
It's round, don't it? A few waves.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's lovely. But it's good. I mean, it's great to see the place busy. I mean, I know we joke, but Gary and the team have worked so hard. It's been 8 months of work really to get the course to this standard, and the members are enjoying it sort of vicariously, if that's the word, and it's great for these guys, and everybody seems to be enjoying the course. There were a few curse words about pin position. I believe it was the 16th in the clubhouse at half time, but can't please everybody. So who have we got here then, Jen? I see a red shirt. Is that?
Let's get the list out and see who's coming up. Oh dear. It's always difficult to try and work it out now because the timings have been changed somewhat. I think that is.
We could just make it up, yeah, no one would know.
I think that's Harrison Sewell, the leader.
Oh, right.
I think.
Right.
Let me just check. But he's going to be good. He's going to knock it down the middle. We know that.
So what, the gentleman that's wandering down the middle of the course with the umbrella is presumably with them. What's his role?
He looks like an official, and I think we can just guess that by the deportment. Carrying an umbrella and a rucksack is a giveaway. So he's obviously in the entourage, I would say.
Is he not in sort of fairly serious danger of being hit with a golf ball, or is that?
I know, but if he's like part of the delegation, he's allowed
to get
to what he wants.
To be, he's always fair game basically.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably put the umbrella up if I was him. Oh, that's a good tee shot, Jen.
Blimey.
Good tee shot.
I like that. That is quite remarkable actually. So he's thought, I'm not going to snap hook it into the cranium of that guy. Yeah, that is Harrison Sewell, and Sewell is the leader.
Fantastic.
Jack Hunter.
Well, he's not messing about with that tee shot, and so unfortunately we weren't treated to the gentleman with a slight delay falling over after being struck with a golf ball, because that would have really meant some YouTube fun for everybody.
The video would be seized quite quickly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so this is game number 8.
Alright.
Yeah, that is good. So after this, we've got Freddie Francois coming along with George Ash of Yorkshire.
Oh, we know Freddie, don't we? He's a jolly good player, isn't
We do. Oh, he's one of the shining lights, the future of Manx golf. Playing away at various events around and about, like Robbie Nooney. I was saying before, it's quite difficult for the local lads to compete and progress because that stretch of water.
he? Yeah, it is.
You can't just jump on the highway or the motorway and nip up to exciting places like Rotherham or what have you.
Well, I mean, one chap from Scotland did try it once on a jet ski, Jen, but I suppose it would be difficult to bring your golf clubs along. Well, thankfully we've got the new vessel, the Manxman, which is it is, and I was one of the whatever it was, privileged, entitled, or whatever chaps that got to see the Manxman on its opening day, and I don't think people realise just how nice that vessel is. It's going to be great for the Isle of Man for the next 25 years, and capacity of over 900 people, so we can get 900 people on the golf course if need be, Jen.
I think it's a great asset, and I think it's something which has been done right, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing is, this is what really makes me laugh. Do you ever watch Bullseye?
This should not be Jim Bowen, do you? Jen?
Jim Bowen.
I do. Nothing in the game for two in a bed. I do. Yeah.
And he'd say like, "Oh, this is what you could have won."
Yes.
You see,
Never saw a cry for it, Jen, but I'll go on.
this is like the Isle of Man. This is what you should have had.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is, like the Ben McCree was like a converted freight ship, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. So it starts off life in design as, this is like for moving containers around lorries you can get on dead easy. Okay. And then, I'll tell you what, let's stick some passengers in and we'll squeeze them in there. So, having a vessel like the Manx should have been the norm, that you travel in a bit of comfort, and a bit of reasonable kind of surroundings. So for 25 years, the Isle of Man public has had to suffer being treated like a lorry driver.
I see. Well,
Hundreds of times over.
I've rather enjoyed my time with the Ben McCree, Jen, but then again, I suppose I'm in the executive club with it.
Oh yeah.
It's a free sandwiches, I'll have you know, Jen. position to give it a name because it's still not built yet. So anyway, it's good. So
We've done it well. I am pleased. I'm very pleased with that, and it is good because just nipping over to the island now, we haven't got the hassle of like passport control. You
Oh,
haven't got the currency issue.
dogs is another thing. Obviously, the hotel one is a dog friendly place. We've got the dog walk and all the rest of it. But on the new vessel, there's 2 dog carriers. I believe it's even a plastic tree so your dog can cock its leg against it. So it's good. So you don't have the obviously you can't bring your dog on the EasyJet, can you? So
No, but when I've been at the airport, there's been some dog and lookalikes.
well, this is what happens when you do your annual holiday to Magaluf Jet. Perhaps want to start venturing to more cultured spots.
So there's a plastic tray.
I mean, it may be fiberglass. Yeah, I didn't do a Denver test on it to determine the exact makeup. But yeah, there's a tree on there. There is.
Okay. So someone has gone to the trouble of designing a plastic tray for dogs to urinate up against.
Well, I might have made that last bit up, but I think that's what will happen. I mean, a dog sees a tree, they're going to go and sniff it and mark it themselves. But I'm sure they thought of all that, so that's good.
That's quite an idea, isn't it? Because it could actually, like, would it be like an absorbent material, or would it kind of like suck it in like a mini vacuum for water? I don't know.
Comments below, Jed. Comments below. Cause,
You heard it first.
it's great. But Brian and his team have worked very hard to get it over here and in service. Lars was involved quite heavily, I think, with procurement because he's from a shipping background. And Seamus, who was up here the other day playing golf, there's quite a lot to do with passenger experience. So I think it's been done well. Let's see.
Good team. We've got Sam's dad, Darren.
Oh yes, Mr. Crawford. Lovely guy. Yeah.
Takes the biscuit. He does absolutely fantastic. He's part of the crew up here at Mount Murray. Big Sam is out today.
Fantastic golfer. I love that. He's about 2 foot taller than he needs to be, but at least we don't have to feed him.
I love the attitude of the boy. Just done his exams, and I think he's going to go to college in the States. I reckon.
Wow, great. That'll be nice for him to get away for a little bit and see a bit of the rest of the world. I mean, I imagine he'd be good at anything like that. I mean, basketball, you name it.
Well, because these players that are moving round, the first 2 that were out are over on the 9th hole already. So there's quite a gap for them. I'm not sure why that would be, because we've had about 10 minutes now. So I'm half wondering whether to take the kit
And see the guys playing it.
for the grand finale.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea, Jen. How long will it be before Daryl comes through, Jen?
It's going to be like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. I was going to get myself a cake, but the cake stand has now been emptied.
That's right, there's another bottle of Prosecco around, Jen. Don't worry about that. They're fearless, absolutely fearless in the face of cake and Prosecco. No stopping them. It's a bit like your Magaluf holidays.
Oh, you want to see me? Unleashed.
On the
I was
booking,
going to say unhinged then.
I was going to say that's Monday to Friday. Let's see. I wonder if you've ever been on the booking Bronco in the middle of the square there with that's a story for another day. Okay, well, so Jed's claiming to want to go to the 18th, but in actual fact, we all know he's going to go and try and secure some cakes from the kitchen. And,
I will. I think, we'll just do that. I think
nice little proceedings.
if we do that, I could take the kit up there. I could do it buggy, but I think Andrew Hall's below the wall.
Oh, no, there's a spare buggy around if you want. We need power yet.
No, I can. I think if we go for the last installment, I'll leave it a while, but I can
Go off grid.
Yeah, go off grid. Go undercover. But I tell you what, the buggies have been great this week. The buggies have been great. I've had this idea.
Oh, God.
Now, everyone loves driving a buggy.
They do.
And
I do.
we've got 30 plus
Mhm.
here at Mount Murray.
Yep.
What about having like a an event. Like, did you watch Kickstart as a kid?
No, Jed.
You know, the little motorcycle skills thing.
No, I was born after the war, Jed. But
So what about
Right.
if we had like a buggies skills event where you turn up? Like, I'm not saying like the buggie's going to be like doing jumps and things like that, and,
Good.
and creating
Yeah.
carnage and so forth.
Mm.
But there is quite a skill
Mm.
in reversing the buggy, manoeuvrability. You know, maybe like, you know, picking up targets and things like that. I just think there'd be a nice little event, you know, for the car park.
As long as you don't get your blindfolds out again, Jed, I think it'll be okay. We could perhaps get Mark Higgins involved, the Manx rally driver.
Now you're talking. Now but you see what I mean? Like, you could stop the buggy at a certain point, like bang on. You've got one go with it.
Yeah.
Then we've got like the reverse around the cones. Then we've got like, you know, parking in the captain's car parking space.
That'd be popular.
That's something that we could do.
I'm just trying to work.
I know. And
Right.
you could have.
Yes.
You drive round with a full glass of water on the roof.
I see.
Or not a plastic.
Plastic,
Vessel.
plastic. Yeah,
Plastic,
yeah, a container. I
There's no
see.
such thing as a plastic glass, is there?
Well, I don't know. You would think so if you go to Magaluf. There's no such thing as a glass if you go to Magaluf. But,
So I think that you could have some scope in that. Like the buggy. Who is the buggy manoeuvrability champion?
the Island Buggy
Island.
Manoeuvrability Champion. I don't know. I think
Because remember, we did have the longest uphill hitter
we did.
driving range champion.
This was at the birthday bash, the driving range birthday bash, which will be coming up again soon in November, Jed.
I love that because we had the guy. Is he called Richard? He's gone into the cops now.
Oh, I see.
Big brute of a bloke, not an established golfer. And
Yeah,
it came
huge
up
chap.
to a head-to-head, and we had Jamie Arneal. Jamie Arneal, who managed to hit a really good drive, but it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough, and he was actually titled runner-up in the longest drive competition, and I'm just wondering if Jamie's got over it yet.
I don't know. I think he didn't look very happy on the day. Well, I mean, when you saw the trophy, you could see why he'd be disappointed, Jet. You know, I think, remember rightly, it was a copper flower pot with an old driver screwed to the top of it. So I mean, it's not every day you see a trophy like that.
Is Freddie?
Here's Freddie.
Freddie D.
Yeah, gone for the trouser, I see. Let's see. It's quite serious. There's no flag raised on the brow of the hill, so it's safe to go. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So who's his playing partner then, Jack? Can we tell this from the tee sheet?
Yes, I'm saying that he's Yorkshire because they've got the bucket hat.
Right.
Right.
Is that why he picked up Freddie's tee as well?
George Ash, Yorkshire.
Yeah. That would explain it. So yeah, the buggy championships. Interesting. Just trying to work out if it's a good idea or if it's more of a Phoenix Knights thing, Jen.
I think it's the latter. I think I'm going to take the camera up the top.
Jolly good,
We'll
Jen.
do that. Right back.
All right, we'll sign off.
We'll wrap it up here. That's brilliant.